हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माई चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान। मेरे चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान में आप सब लोगों को फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आई एम वेरी सॉरी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फॉर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू मेक वीडियोस फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम। एक्चुअली आई वाज नॉट वेल, okay, and then the puja holidays also started, so it took me a little time to recover also from my illness. Okay, so here I am with the video, the explanation of the video, the explanation of the story, the redemption. This is part 2. Part 1 I've already uploaded part 1. This is part 2 and the final part. Okay, so the redemption part 2, which is in the syllabus of class 11 alternative English, and here I am going to make a full explanation of this particular lesson. Okay, so this is part 2 and part 2 is the final part. So today we will complete the story. So explanation of part 2. So we already know in part 1 that a criminal called John Valjean had come to the house of the bishop. The bishop had let him stay in his house for a night, and then this same criminal John Valjean had planned to steal the silver plates from the bishop's house and run away. Okay, now he wakes up at night. Okay, रात के 3 बजे वो उठ जाता है. He wakes up at around 3 a.m. at night, and he gets ready to do the stealing part. Okay, so we'll continue from there. So this is part 2 and the final part. So Jean Valjean, he got up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and Jean Valjean, he examined the outside area by opening the window. There was a garden outside. So Jean Valjean, when he woke up, he opened the window to just see that if he stole the silver plates, how would he run away? वो कैसे भागेगा? तो उसने जो है पूरा जो आउटसाइड एरिया है उसको बहुत अच्छे से ऑब्जर्व किए. ही ऑब्जर्व द आउटसाइड एरिया by opening the window, and there was a garden also outside. So he was planning from where I will run. Okay, but as cold wind rushed in, he closed the window immediately. तो उसने जब पूरा ऑब्जर्वेशन कर लिया, as he had made all the observations, it was cold outside and the cold wind was rushing in, so he immediately closed the window. ठीक है. He then opened his bag. This will be bag. Okay, he then opened his bag. And took out a stick. He put his shoes inside his pockets. Okay, so he opened his bag and he took out a stick, and then he put his shoes inside his pocket so that while walking there are no sounds, okay, created by his shoes. तो उसने अपने जूते अपने पॉकेट में रख लिए, अपने बैग से एक स्टिक निकाला और वो बिल्कुल रेडी था अब बाहर निकलने के लिए. वॉज रेडी टू कम आउट ऑफ हिज रूम. ओके, अपने रूम से बाहर निकलने के लिए. He was completely ready, and he was now fully ready for his action. Action means the action of stealing. ठीक है, चोरी करने का एक्शन. Okay, so he reached near the door to open it, but it was unlatched. Unlatched means unlocked. Okay, now let me just remind you, if you don't remember, let me remind you, this is the room. Okay, this is the room, and this is the bishop's room. And if Jean Valjean has to go to his room then, or come out of the room, then he has to come all the way through the bishop's room. तो बिशॉप्स के रूम से जो है, बिशॉप के रूम से उसको बिशॉप का रूम होते हुए उसको बाहर निकलना है, और अगर उसको अपने रूम में जाना है तो बिशॉप का रूम होते हुए ही उसको अपने रूम में जाना है. ठीक है, तो इफ ही हैज़ टू कम आउट, ही हैज़ टू कम थ्रू द बिशॉप्स रूम. ऑलराइट, okay, I hope you have understood. So what happened is that this door was unlocked. Okay, this is the same door which was unlocked. Okay, so the criminal Jean, he had not expected, उसने expect नहीं किया था बिल्कुल कि रूम जो है वो अनलॉक होगा. उसने सोचा था कि रूम लॉक होगा. That is why he was carrying a drill with him. वो अपने हाथों में एक ड्रिल लेके जो है वो बिल्कुल रेडी है. Okay, he was carrying a drill in case if he needed to break the lock. Okay, but then there was no use of the lock because the bishop had kept everything unlocked. We'll come to that later, हम लोग बाद में आएंगे. So basically this room was unlatched or unlocked. So the bishop had not locked it. He was sleeping very soundly. Bishop को कोई चिंता ही नहीं है. The bishop is not worried at all. उसके दिल में कोई चिंता नहीं कि मेरे बगल में एक criminal सोया हुआ है. Near to me, adjacent to my room, there is a criminal who is sleeping at night, who has spent 19 years in jail. I do not know anything about this man, and I have given him shelter in my house. So the bishop is not at all worried about it. Okay, he was sleeping soundly. वो बिल्कुल घोड़े बेच के सोना जैसा है. Okay, he was sleeping soundly. तो जॉन वेरी कॉशियसली जॉन ओपन द डोर, ओके, सो ही ओपन द डोर वेरी कॉशियसली, बहुत ही ध्यान से उसने दरवाजे को खोला। एंड जैसे कि हम लोगों को पता है अगर पुराना थोड़ा दरवाज़ा है तो इट वुड मेक अ क्रीकिंग साउंड, तो सेम हियर ऑल्सो द डोर मेड अ क्रीकिंग साउंड एंड जॉन सडनली गॉट लिटिल फ्राइटेंड इन केस इफ द बिशॉप वुड वेक अप। लेकिन बिशॉप जो है वो बिल्कुल साउंड स्लीप में था, ही वाज स्लीपिंग पीसफुली, ओके। So John waited for some times, okay, just to check that whether the bishop had woken up or not. But no, the bishop was sleeping very peacefully. So John waited for some times and then he opened the door and entered the bishop's room. तो उसने अब बिशॉप के रूम में एंटर किया. Let me just draw one small picture to show you this thing. This is John's room. This is bishop's room. So now John entered bishop's room and the bishop was sleeping on the bed. John looked at the bishop's face very nicely. Okay, and John suddenly felt something. He slept, the bishop had slept tranquilly. Tranquilly means in utmost peace. I mean, there is no tension in the face of the bishop. John was little shocked that how can somebody sleep so peacefully when a criminal was sleeping just adjacent to his room. कोई एक बंदा कैसे इतना पीसफुली, इतनी गहरी नींद में कैसे एक बंदा सो सकता है जिसके बगल में ही एक क्रिमिनल जो 19 ईयर्स प्रिजन में स्पेंड करके आया वो बगल में सोया हुआ है, तो ये कैसे हो सकता है? हाउ इज दिस पॉसिबल? ही लुक्ड एट द बिशॉप्स फेस वेरी केयरफुली एंड ही नोटिस्ड दैट देयर वाज समथिंग हेवनली इन द फेस ऑफ द बिशॉप. उसने बिशॉप के चेहरे को बहुत ध्यान से देखा और क्या पाया देखने के बाद कि बिशॉप का जो चेहरा है वो बहुत हेवनली चेहरा है. मतलब it is not ordinary, it is extraordinary, that look, that expression in the bishop's face, okay. And the bishop had when the bishop was sleeping, he was having a very light smile on his face, okay. He was smiling very lightly, he was smiling and sleeping. How can a person sleep so peacefully? So there was something very heavenly in the face of the bishop. This is what this is what John thought. The bishop was a reflection of God himself. So finally John, he kept on looking at the face of the bishop, okay. There was something very attractive in the face of the bishop, okay. So John thought that he is a reflection of God himself. And you see, when the bishop was sleeping, you see there was a moonlight coming through the window and that was touching the forehead of bishop, okay. That those silver color moonlight that was falling on the forehead of bishop, it looked as if when we see God, you might have seen in movies and cartoons and all, no, when God appears, there is a bright silver light shining behind the head of God, right? So it looked something like that only. The radiance, the rays of the moon that fell on the bishop's forehead just looked like as if the bishop was God himself, okay. So he was the reflection of God himself. But John then thought that no, it is time for me now to do my action. So John reached the cupboard near bishop's head. तो बिशॉप के ठीक सर के पास ही एक कबर्ड था, अलमारी. कबर्ड मीन्स काइंड ऑफ एन अलमेरा, ओके. वहाँ था, बिशॉप के हेड के करीब ही था वो. इट वॉज नियर बिशॉप्स हेड ओनली. So he went near the cupboard, okay, and then he took out his he decided to break the cupboard actually, because he thought that the cupboard would be locked. So he decided to force open the cupboard with his drill, but then the key was already in the cupboard. देखिए कोई चिंता नहीं है. The bishop is not worried at all. He kept the cupboard open. Moreover, he had kept the key in the cupboard lock only. तो कबर्ड में ही उसने की को वहाँ पे ही उसने हैंगिंग पोजीशन में रख दिया. सो देयर वाज नो नीड टू ब्रेक द कबर्ड डोर बाय द क्रिमिनल, बाय जॉन. तो जॉन को कोई ज़रूरत पड़ा ही नहीं. सो ही डिसाइडेड टू फोर्स ओपन द कबर्ड विथ हिज ड्रिल, बट देयर वाज नो यूज. व्हाई? बिकॉज द की वाज ऑलरेडी इन द कबर्ड. सो ही ओपनड एंड सॉ अ बास्केट. तो जैसे ही जॉन ने वो दरवाज़ा खोला कबर्ड का, उसने देखा एक छोटा सा बास्केट है. ही सॉ अ स्मॉल बास्केट, ओके, a small basket, and inside those baskets there were silver plates. तो उसी बास्केट के अंदर कुछ सिल्वर प्लेट्स रखे हुए हैं, ओके. He did what next? He threw the basket तो बास्केट उसका कोई काम का नहीं है, द बास्केट इज यूजलेस फॉर हिम, सो ही थ्रू द बास्केट एंड पुट दो सिल्वर प्लेट्स इन हिज बैग एंड लेफ्ट द हाउस। तो बास्केट उसने फेंक दिया, ही थ्रू अवे द बास्केट एंड ही टुक दोस पुट दो सिल्वर प्लेट्स इन हिज बैग एंड ही लेफ्ट द हाउस। उसको मौका मिल गया, उसने मौके पे पूरा चौका मार दिया, यू नो, ही hit a 6 on this golden opportunity. He was successful. He put those silver plates inside his bag and he left the house. He escaped. Now next day at sunrise, so early morning, okay, sunrise, the bishop was walking in his garden. He had the habit of waking up very early in the morning. He was walking in his garden when Madame Magloire is the caretaker of the house, okay, servant, maid servant of the house. Madame Meghalaya, she ran towards the bishop and informed that the silver plates had been stolen. ठीक है, तो Madame Meghalaya went to the bishop. The bishop was taking a walk in the garden early in the morning, and then Madame Meghalaya informed that the silver plates have been stolen. And while she was informing, actually, her eyes fell on the garden wall. तो उसने देखा कि जब वो बिशप को बता रहा था, when he was telling the bishop, informing the bishop about the stealing thing, her eyes fell on the garden wall. तो उसकी आँख गई गार्डन के वॉल पे एंड she saw that one capstone was removed. Capstone in the sense, there are walls where there are extra stones kept, okay, either on the top or here in between the walls, okay. So she saw that one capstone was removed, and through that capstone only that culprit, the thief, had run away. Now everything had become clear, and it was now confirmed that Jean was the culprit because Jean was not inside the house. क्योंकि Jean, जब उन्होंने पूरा वो सीन देखा आंखों के सामने, when they saw the whole scene around their surrounding them, capstone was missing, there were footprints also going through the garden, okay, it was confirmed that Jean is not in the house, capstone is removed, there are footmarks also, that means everything is clear. It was Jean who was the thief, who was the culprit. Anyways, now you see, what do you expect the expression of the bishop would be or to be? आपको क्या लगता है कि बिशप का एक्सप्रेशन क्या हुआ होगा? The man whom I had given shelter the previous night, the man whom I had given a bed, a comfortable bed to sleep, the man whom I had given good food to eat, that man, he stole these silver plates from my house. How do you think the bishop would react now? Let us see the reaction. Look at the reaction of the bishop. Okay, this is very interesting. However, the bishop was still calm. Bishop बिल्कुल calm था, बिल्कुल शांत था, कोई गुस्सा उसके अंदर नहीं, कोई दुख उसके अंदर नहीं. There is no pain inside him that, oh, my candlesticks, my silver plates have been stolen. There is no anger that I gave shelter to that man yesterday, the previous night I gave food to that man, a comfortable bed to sleep, and this scoundrel, this rascal, he had stolen my plates. No expression of anger, no expression of pain, sorrow, whatever. Rather, the bishop said that those plates did not even belong to them. Them in the sense Bishop, Madame Meghalaya and his sister. Okay, so Bishop ये बोलता है, Bishop says that those silver plates did not belong even to us. Those silver plates actually belong to the poor, and Jean was a poor man. So indirectly, those silver plates belong to Jean only. ठीक है, आपको समझ में आ गया? Look at the expression, look at the way Bishop looks at life. अगर हमारे घर पे ऐसा कोई चोर हो तो हम क्या कहते? सबसे पहले पुलिस में जाते, या तो अगर चोर पकड़ा जाता तो डंडे से उसको मारते. We would thrash if the thief is caught red-handed, or we would go to the police and tell the police that I will take this man into custody and beat him like anything, thrash him like anything all the night, right? But no, the bishop is completely, that is why he said he's out of the world. Okay, he does not belong to this world, he's out of the world. These kind of characters are actually out of the world. ये दुनिया के बिल्कुल बाहरी दुनिया के लोग हैं. ये हमारे दुनिया के लोग नहीं है. हमारे दुनिया के लोग गुस्सा करते. The people who belong to this world, this earth, they show anger, pain, agony, वी टॉक इल अबाउट अदर्स, हम लोग दूसरे के बारे में बुरा बोलते हैं. वी विश इल अबाउट अदर्स, हम लोग दूसरे के बारे में बुरा सोचते हैं, बुरा प्रे करते हैं कि वो बुरा उसके उसके साथ बुरा हो, सो दैट बैड हैपन्स विथ हिम. बट नो, दिस बिशप नेवर थिंक्स लाइक दैट. एंड दैट इज़ वाई द स्टोरी हैज़ सो मेनी थिंग्स टू टीच अस. इस कहानी में ऐसे बहुत कुछ हैं जो हम सीख सकते हैं इस कहानी से, ठीक है. तो द बिशप सेड दैट वो प्लेट्स तो हमारे बिल्कुल नहीं है, दोज प्लेट्स इवन डू नॉट बिलोंग टू अस, दोज बिलोंग्स टू द पुअर एंड जॉन इज़ अ पुअर मैन. जॉन तो एक गरीब आदमी है, तो वो प्लेट तो उसके पास ही जाना चाहिए. तो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, वो प्लेट अगर उसके पास चला गया, जॉन के पास अगर चला भी गया, तो क्या दिक्कत है. तो मैडम मैगलोयर जो है, जो सर्वेंट है, मेड सर्वेंट, व्हेन मैडम मैगलोयर आस्क्ड हाउ द बिशप वुड ईट विदाउट प्लेट्स, मैडम मैगलोयर ने कहा कि हमारे घर वही प्लेट्स थे, और तो प्लेट्स नहीं है, वी डू नॉट हैव एनी मोर प्लेट्स, हाउ विल यू ईट. तो बिशप रिप्लाई करता है कि वी कैन यूज टिन प्लेट्स. तो आई हैव नॉट इलाबोरेटेड हियर, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू दिस थिंग. जब बिशप ने कहा कि वी कैन यूज टिन प्लेट्स, it is not necessary na that we have to eat on silver plates only, we can use tin plates also. Okay, तो मैडम मैगलोयर says no, tin smells. tin जो है वो smell करता है, it would smell very bad, if you would put food on a tin plate, the food would smell. The bishop said okay fine, then we can eat on iron plates also. Okay, Madam Meghalaya said that, but even iron plates also, the taste will not be good. The taste of the food will not be good. Alright? The bishop said, okay, fine then. You bring wooden plates. I think we have wooden plates. I'll eat on wooden plates. You see, the food is more important, not the plates. है ना, खाना जो है वो ज़्यादा important है, प्लेट ज़्यादा important है. तो मैं wooden plates में खा लूँगा. I will eat on wooden plates. You see, the bishop does not care for anything, Okay. Now, Madam Meghalaya, inside, she is very angry, okay, that why is the bishop so good? कि बिशप इतना अच्छा क्यों है. हम लोग, you see, students, we often advise people not to be so good, right? Why? Because if you are too good to people, then people will befool you, right? People will befool you. मतलब लोग आपको stupid बना के चले जाएंगे अगर आप ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ अच्छा बर्ताव करेंगे. If you are too good to people, then you'll become, people will make you fool. लोग आपको stupid, fool बना के चले जाएंगे. बिशप का भी यही हाल है. Even the bishop is going through the same situation, but the bishop is not ready to change his character. The bishop is not ready to change his attitude. We change. We as normal human beings, we change our attitude, we change our behavior. The bishop is not. Okay, the bishop is what? He is. Right? So the bishop, his sister and Meghalaya was having their breakfast at the table. So, they're sitting at the same table where the previous night Jean had come and they had eaten. So that same table, the bishop, his sister and Madame Meghalaya, the maid servant, they were having their breakfast. Madame Meghalaya, now sister was quiet, okay. Bishop's sister was very quiet. She was not silent. She was not speaking anything because she knows that it is no use telling my brother anything. He will not understand. Madame Meghalaya was very angry. Why? Because those expensive silver plates were stolen. And now you see Madame Meghalaya herself is eating on wooden plates, which she is not liking. So she was very angry and she was grumbling herself. Okay, अपने आप वो अपने आप वो बातें कर रही थी, ये क्या बात हो गया, what kind of attitude is this, अरे we are eating on wooden plates now and this is wrong man, this is wrong man. Alright, so she was telling all these things. Right, then you see the door knocked and 3 gendarmes, police officer, okay, gendarmes, we can say police officer of France, okay, so gendarmes, okay, so right then the door knocked and 3 gendarmes, police officers, in France, okay, we call them gendarmes. So 3 gendarmes, police officer entered holding a 4th man by his collar. तो क्या हुआ कि वो लोग खाना almost उन लोगों को खत्म हो चुका था. They had almost finished their breakfast when the door knocked and the bishop said yes, come in. So 3 police officers entered holding a 4th man by his collar. एक चौथे आदमी का कॉलर पकड़ के वो अंदर घुसे. And this 4th man was Jean Valjean. अब नाउ व्हाट इज़ द केस. अब केस हुआ क्या. बहुत आसान है, समझना बहुत आसान है. देखिए फिर भी मैं आपको समझाता हूँ कहानी में जो है. व्हाट इज देयर इन द स्टोरी, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू. बिफोर they could speak anything, it will be they, okay. Before they could speak anything, now the bishop understood. The bishop understood why Jean Valjean was caught by the police. But before those 3 police officers could speak anything, Before Jean Valjean could speak anything, the bishop suddenly rose from the table and went near them and said, looking towards Jean. तो जैसे पहले वो कुछ बोल पाते, बिशॉप अपने टेबल से उठा, वो 3 पुलिस ऑफिसर के पास गया. जॉन भी वहीं पे खड़ा था. जॉन वॉज स्टैंडिंग राइट नेक्स्ट टू द पुलिस ऑफिसर्स. ही वेंट नियर द पुलिस ऑफिसर्स. जॉन वॉज स्टैंडिंग देयर. द बिशॉप लुक्ड एट जॉन एंड सेड, लुक एट ए सेंटेंस, आई एम ग्लैड टू सी यू. कौन बोलता है आज की दुनिया में, इन टूडेज वर्ल्ड, हु वुड से सच काइंड वर्ड्स? यू सी, टुडे वी आर लूजिंग काइंडनेस. Right, students, we are losing kindness today. Where do you find so much kindness? Very rare. I'm not saying it is not at all there, but very, very, very rare. So whenever you find an opportunity, not my advice, but it's all our duty, you see. Wherever you get an opportunity to show kindness to people, do it right then. Don't wait for others. Okay, wherever you can give kindness, to others, wherever you can give love to others, wherever you can give forgiveness, wherever you can forgive others, do it right then. This is what humanity is all about. Humanity is all about kindness, love, forgiveness, and this is what the story is all about. Okay, I told you that we have so many things to learn from the story. So the bishop said, I am so glad to see you. Jean Valjean is shocked. How come the bishop is so glad to see me, whereas he already knows? You see, Jean Valjean already knows that the bishop has got all the information that I have stolen his silver plates, but still the bishop is behaving so nicely with me. So the bishop asked Jean that why he had not taken the silver candlesticks which he had gifted Jean. Okay, a bishop said, I am very glad to see you. And then the bishop continued, then John, why did you not take the silver candlesticks? I kept those silver candlesticks for you. Along with the silver plates, you could have taken the silver candlesticks also. I already gave it to you yesterday as a gift. And you said that you would earn 200 francs from there. तुम वहाँ से 200 francs कमाओगे. You would earn 200 francs from there. And then you can start a new life with that money. Why did you not take the silver candlestick? देखिए बिल्कुल झूठ है. This is a lie. The bishop had never gifted any silver candlesticks to Jean. But bishop is telling a lie here. Why? Because so that the police officers, they release Jean. Right? That is why the bishop was telling a lie. And let me tell you, if you tell lies, students, again one more thing. We learn in moral books that moral stories that we should never tell lies, but this is half true. If you tell even 1,000 lies to save somebody, those lies are not considered lies at all. Those are 10,000, 10 lakhs, 10 crore times better than a truth. One truth that can destroy somebody's life, okay, and 1,000 lies which can save somebody's lives. Those 1,000 lies are much better. Okay, so it does not matter. So the bishop was telling a lie to save Jean Valjean. So the bishop says Jean Valjean that why did you not take the silver candlesticks? I had kept the silver candlesticks for you. Jean was now utterly shocked. That what is this man telling? What is the bishop telling? He never gifted me the candlesticks. He never gifted me anything. Yesterday I slept. It was my criminal mind that I stole the silver candlesticks, silver plates and ran away. And now this bishop is telling me all these things. Arey, what on the earth is going on? क्या चल क्या रहा है आखिर? So he was utterly shocked now. Now one of the officers, actually, he is a brigadier, okay, main officer. He said that they found Jean running with these silvers, okay. So they caught him, and when they asked from where he had got these these expensive items, Jean said that the bishop had gifted him or had given him. So the officer then explained that, oh, then this man is telling the truth. ठीक है, ऑफिसर ने बिशप से कहा और द ऑफिसर टोल्ड बिशप, दिस ब्रिगेडियर टोल्ड बिशप दैट ओके, सो दिस मैन इज टेलिंग द ट्रूथ. एक्चुअली वी सॉ हिम रनिंग in the night and then we caught him, and then we asked him we checked his bag, and then we asked him from where you got these expensive silver plates, And then this man said that that bishop had given me these silver plates. Oh, that means Jean was telling the truth. Bishop said, yes, yes, it is true only. Jean was speaking the truth. Actually, I had gifted him these silver candlesticks. Okay, but the police said that, but you see, this man looks like a criminal, so we thought that he had stolen these silver plates from your house, and we could not trust him, and so we brought him here to confirm whether he's telling a lie or not. Okay, ठीक है? I hope you have understood. The police officer said that since he looked like a criminal, so we could not trust him and brought him here. क्योंकि ये तो क्रिमिनल जैसा दिखता है, तो हम लोग तो ट्रस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे थे, ये सच बोल रहा है झूठ, तो कंफर्मेशन के लिए हम लोग इसको आपके घर लेके आए, जस्ट कंफर्मेशन. सो नाउ वी आर कंफर्म. सो बिशप सेड, नाउ यू आर कंफर्म. The police officer said, yes, yes, we are confirmed now. So the bishop replied that John had spoken the truth, the police had made a big mistake. तो बिशप ने कहा कि जॉन जो है बिल्कुल सच बोल रहा है, जॉन इज स्पीकिंग द ट्रूथ. पुलिस ऑफिसर्स, यू हैव मेड अ बिग मिस्टेक बाय अरेस्टिंग दिस ऑनेस्ट मैन. देखिए, ही इज टेलिंग जॉन एन ऑनेस्ट मैन. ओके, सो प्लीज पुलिस ऑफिसर्स, प्लीज रिलीज हिम. ओके, तो नाउ द पुलिस ऑफिसर्स रियलाइज देयर मिस्टेक. ओके, so realizing their mistake, the police officers released जॉन. ओके, तो पुलिस ऑफिसर्स ने अपना मिस्टेक रियलाइज किया, उसने जॉन को छोड़ दिया, उन्होंने जॉन को छोड़ दिया. अब जॉन जो है वो भी रेडी. अब जॉन ने पूछा कि, अब जॉन आस्क्ड द पुलिस, कैन आई गो? द पुलिस सेड, यस यस, यू कैन गो नाउ, कम ऑन गो, इट वाज अ मिस्टेक बाय अस, यू कैन गो नाउ. So John once again asked, are you sure I can go? The police became little frustrated and said, yes, yes, we told you, you can go. How many times we will repeat that? We need to repeat that. You can go. Go. Now John was ready to leave the house of the bishop. तो John बिल्कुल ready है. अब वो जा रहा है. He's leaving, okay. He's leaving. The bishop suddenly stopped John. Bishop ने John को रोक दिया कि John, please stop. Then the bishop went to the mantelpiece. Mantelpiece in the sense a kind of stand, you can say, okay, kind of stand, and on those stands 2 silver candlesticks were kept. Okay, 2 silver candlesticks were kept. And then what happened? The bishop went to the mantelpiece and brought the 2 silver candlesticks for John. Okay, now interesting, you see, look at the next. I hope you understood. Okay, John, he stopped John Valjean and said that, stop John, wait. The bishop went to the mantelpiece and brought the 2 candlesticks for John. John was trembling but not in fear. John डर के मारे काँप नहीं रहा था, but he was trembling, वो काँप रहा था because of remorse and shame. Okay, उसको शर्म के मारे वो काँप रहा था, और उसके दिल में एक रिडेम्पशन आया, उसके दिल में एक रिमोर्स, मतलब एक रिग्रेट पैदा हुआ. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड रिग्रेट. पछतावा. वो पछतावे से और शर्म से वो काँप रहा था. छी छी, yesterday the dirty job that I have done, and look at this man, this bishop, he is ready to forgive me for that also, and ऊपर से on top of that he is gifting me 2 more of his candlesticks, despite the fact, regardless of the fact that I have stolen his 6 silver plates. I mean, I already have those 6 silver plates with me, but on top of that, उसके ऊपर he is gifting me 2 more candlesticks. Okay, so the bishop then told John. He gave, the bishop gave the candlesticks to John and told John, John, now you can go in peace. अब तुम शांति से जाओ. But before leaving, the bishop went to John and told him in a very low voice, बहुत ही धीरे धीरे जॉन के पास जाके बिशप ने क्या कहा? John, don't forget your promise. Okay, not to forget his promise. क्या promise? John, don't forget your promise to use this silver to become an honest man. You have promised me that you will become an honest man by using this silver, by selling this silver, by using this silver. So don't forget your promise, John. Now, Jean Valjean had never made such a promise, right? Jean Valjean had never made such a promise. The bishop had somehow convinced him. This is called a great soul, a great human being who can change somebody's impure soul into a pure soul. यही होता है, हम लोग जिसे सेंट कहते हैं ना, हम लोग जिसे सेंट कहते हैं, पीपल वी कॉल सेंट और साधु, रियल सेंट, रियल साधुज आर दोज, okay, are those who can change an evil, who can transform an evil soul to a pure soul, who can transform an impure soul to a pure soul through these kind of actions. You see, John Valjean had never made such a promise. John Valjean ने कभी ऐसा promise किया ही नहीं. Bishop is using this strategy to change this man. The bishop finally told John that he no longer belonged to evil but to good. The bishop ने कहा कि ये जो कैंडलस्टिक्स मैंने तुमको दिए हैं, दिस कैंडलस्टिक, सिल्वर कैंडलस्टिक्स दैट आई हैव गिवन यू, बाय गिविंग यू दिस, यू नाउ नो मोर बिलोंग टू एविल बट टू गुड. You belong to good now. The bishop said that I have purchased your evil soul with those silver items. ठीक है, मतलब it is a kind of give and take policy. I will give you the silver candlesticks, you give me your evil soul. So indirectly, the bishop had purchased that evil soul of Jean by or in exchange of those silver items. कि मैं तुम्हें सिल्वर आइटम्स दे रहा हूँ, तुम मुझे अपने इविल सोल जो है सरेंडर कर दो. इट मीन्स दैट यू आर सरेंडरिंग योर इविलनेस. ओके, सो दिस इज द टेक्निक ऑफ बिशॉप एंड दिस टेक्निक वर्कड. एंड दैट बिशॉप सेड दैट आई हैव विथड्रॉन योर इविल सोल फ्रॉम डार्क थॉट्स and the spirit of perdition, and I have given it to God. It in the sense your evil soul I have given to God. Okay, so perdition यहाँ पे क्या है? Perdition is actually, it means it is a Christian term actually. Perdition, listen to this very carefully. Okay, it is a Christian term. It is a place of Satan actually. Satan is character that symbolizes evilness. Okay, so it is the place of Satan where all sinners are sent for punishment after their death. तो डेथ के बाद जितने भी पापी लोग हैं वो इस सैटन के घर में जाते हैं और इन सिनर्स को पनिशमेंट मिलता है. ठीक है, तो द when you do something good, when you do something bad, okay, your soul also becomes evil. And ultimately it is the soul actually, ultimately it is your soul which is punished here in perdition. Okay, so the bishop had saved or has saved Jean from this spirit of perdition, and those evilness have been given to God by the bishop. So now Jean Valjean does not have any evilness inside him. There is no question of punishment now, right? So we can say that, we say heaven or hell. You can say that perdition is a kind of hell, and heaven is a place where all good people go. There is no punishment. There is happiness all around. So now the bishop means to say that now that you have surrendered your evil soul, I will give it to God, and you are free from all evilness. Your soul has become pure, and now you can go to God. You can go to heaven. So this is what the bishop has finally done, and the story ends here with a great message for all of us. Story यहाँ पे end होता है एक बहुत अच्छे मैसेज के साथ कि love, happiness, okay, और love, mercy का मतलब forgiveness भी है, forgiveness, these are the kindness, we can say these are the elements, these are the values, these are the highest values that we need to have in our life. As human beings, we must have these values in our life, and we must, as I told you, that we must always give love. We should always be ready to forgive people. We should always display kindness to others whenever we get an opportunity. हमें जब भी मौका मिलता है, हमें लोगों की मदद करनी चाहिए, उनको प्यार बांटना चाहिए, forgive करना चाहिए. Irrespective, see, when God speaks of love, mercy, forgiveness, kindness, God never says, God never mentions any particular religion, God never mentions any particular caste, God never mentions any particular person of a high or a low social status. Love is for everybody. Mercy, forgiveness, kindness, these values are for everybody. So whenever you get an opportunity, never see these things that he's of a high caste, he's of a low caste, he's educated, illiterate, uneducated, literate, whatever it is, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, Parsi, whoever. Okay, human beings are after all human beings. See from the eyes of a human beings. Okay, आप अपनी इंसानियत के आंखों से एक दूसरी इंसान को देख सकते हैं. From a Hindu eye, I will always see a Hindu person. From a Muslim eye, I will always see a Muslim person. From a Sikh eye, I can always see a Sikh person. From a Christian eye, I can only see a Christian person. But from a human eye, I can see another human being. And that is more important. Okay, and this is what the bishop teaches us. This is what the story teaches us. The redemption. ठीक है, तो फाइनली ये रिडेम्पशन हुआ इस जॉन के अंदर. ओके, इनसाइड जॉन दिस रिडेम्पशन ऑकर्ड, and now we can say that John will definitely become a very good human being. The story ends here, but after the story we can definitely say that John will become a great soul, a great human being. Okay, so how did you like the story? This is part 2 and the final part of the story. How did you like the story? Please, if you haven't watched part 1, go and watch part 1 first, then come to this part of the story, the final part of the story. Okay, so please comment in the comment section how you like the story. Okay, and what did you learn from the story, and whether whenever you would get an opportunity to help somebody, will you do or not? All right, so finally subscribe to the channel, like and share my videos, and I will be bringing more beautiful explanation videos, and I have started again. Okay, now regularly videos will come. Selection test is very near. I'm going to upload few important things for your selection test that might help you in your exams. All right, so with love from Omni Gyan, and all the best to all of you.